Thank you. The topic is training of educators, coping with rapidly changing educational technologies. Uh, in the morning, I have seen uh, in one session, the chairperson was always telling them, reminding them, please stick to the topic. So, thanks to my Singapore training, I always stick to the topic. Here, the first one is educators. As Madam said rightly, educator is not necessarily the teacher, the administrator also. Then, technologies, educational technologies, and how rapidly they are changing. How do we cope? We train our educators. That is the topic. I'll stick to that. So I will consider speaking of three segments, talking about the importance of ICT and ET, educational technologies, talk about what are the rapidly changing ETs in the classrooms. Of course, in India and around the world also, I have to tell you what is happening and what we expect for tomorrow's education, because we can't talk only what is happening, because what is happening is not enough. What we expect to happen comparing to other countries is a lot. So we expect what is going to happen. So lastly, coping mechanism for educators, that means teacher and administrator. Now, as you all know that ICT is recently has become a very effective educational tool which is promoting learning process, and it is allowing the students to work more productively than past. But what happened, the teacher's role has become more demanding than ever in technology-rich classrooms because of the rapid changes. What are the benefits of ICT? Actually, teachers can prepare design their work, their lesson plans effectively. It enhances the role of the students, and it creates a collaborative learning environment. What is educational technologies? See, as Madam said, that the actual definition of educational technology means collection of tools helping in advancing the student learning. So, the educational tool, even starting from pencil, pen, crayons, to all the educational tools which I am going to talk about, should enhance the students' learning. Otherwise, the tools are waste. So technology is all about change. It is always changing. So ever-changing technology, of course, creates sometimes stress to the teachers. That's why we are talking about how to cope. As technologies change, the newer ones are being brought. What happens? The configurations change. You must be using Windows 97, then later XPs, then so many changes have happened. The structures, the configurations, the applications of educational technologies will also change. And educational problems are diverse. So are their solutions. So it all have effect on the administrators and the teachers. Hence, the dynamics of the ever-evolving nature of the discipline needs to be understood. Okay, so next I discussed about what is ICT, what are the educational technologies, and what kind of technologies are being used in India and abroad in other countries. So the technology used in classrooms are computers. Of course, computer is actually a very important tool to the teacher who can prepare worksheets using the computer, and then she can prepare a new lesson, she demonstrate and illustrate. Next one, class websites. Maybe it is new to us, but actually class websites are used in many countries. The class websites are used to post worksheets, lesson plans, famous quotes, and student work. Next, class blogs also used, and wikis. Actually, wiki is a new thing. It's a collaborative website. Sometimes it's called also wikis. Wikis is a collaborative website whose content can be edited by not only one person, it's a teamwork. The tools used here are Web 2.0 tools and wikis. Of course, when the classroom is noisy, constructive noisy, because when the students are involved in discussions, group works, there is a noise, but it's a constructive noise. So then teachers can use wireless classroom microphones, and mobile devices like smartphones are very useful to give the feedback, because a lot of apps can be downloaded. And then online research. Just now one speaker was talking about why the education is not research oriented. But nowadays we are all moving to that. So a lot of internet is being used. Online research, students conducting the online research. Scientific data, using global positioning systems, devices to acquire scientific data. Remember, we are moving from, earlier there was a chalk and talk, the passive learning, passive teaching, to active teaching, to interactive teaching. But now we are waiting for creative teaching. In some countries, almost all the classrooms are linked to internet, but some have more technology used. For example, using activities like video conferencing to bring the world into the classroom. Interactive whiteboards. Of course, a lot of schools in Hyderabad, I have heard that they are using the interactive whiteboards, which are very useful. Especially one tool which I like is the virtual lab. The virtual lab, that means you need not to go to the actual lab. You can do, the students can combine the chemicals and then they can see the product, final product, without touching the actual chemicals. That's called virtual lab. Really, I liked it. So then digital video on demand, online media, teacher tube. This is very important. This is especially for the educators. Just like YouTube, there is a teacher tube, which is really very helpful for the teachers to get a lot of videos uploaded, so you can watch them. Next, like online study tools, because we want the students to be independent learners. So if you see the study tools like Quizlet.com, then the children learn on their own. And next, for the teachers, if they wanted to prepare any worksheets, so you can use hot potatoes. Next, if the children are using, nowadays, madam said that just now, iPod, and if they have an iPod, they can easily broadcast, which is calling podcasting. Podcasting is done in Singapore a lot. It's because, especially the students from ASEAN countries, they come to Singapore. Their English accent is very bad, very poor. And they can't understand the British accent of the Singapore teachers. Yeah, sorry. So that's the reason why they use this iPod and broadcasting. Okay, then for mathematics, because I am a mathematician, so I am asked to use Graphmatica, Sketchpad, Live Math View, Graphic Calculator. So in the beginning, I was a bit apprehensive, bit overwhelmed. But once I started using this, I found that it's much, much easier, and the students' engagement is a lot. Okay, so when we ask all the teachers to use this kind of technologies, definitely there will be a stress. So how to cope this stress? That means the educators, of course, not only the teachers, for the administrators also. So what we advise them is read to keep informed of available new educational technologies, especially like digital learning. Attend conferences like this. Take help from coordinators. Attend frequent workshops. Talk to your school management regarding overwhelming areas. Ask around, check with your friends in other schools regarding what technologies they are using. Take help from the coordinators. Attend frequent workshops. Talk to your school management regarding areas. Have a model lesson with your co-teachers. Share your issues with your co-teachers. Minimize the stress. Be informed the benefits of new ET, because you cannot avoid it. The world is changing. The new technology is coming. You can't say that I still stick to chalk and talk. Of course, as a mathematician, the chalk and talk is, no doubt, is very good. But certain things like graphs, if I want to explain the polar coordinates, and then the other quadratic equations, I have to use technology like graphic calculators. So if you can't beat them, you have to join them. So the teachers, like for example, the in-service teachers, they may find it difficult to understand. So then for them, so the training, in-service training is important. So last but not least, it's nothing wrong to learn few technical tips from your own children, because they know better than us, because they are fast learners and they keep abreast of the latest technology. Thank you very much.